David Garoppolo of the Cigar Authority. You're listening to the Leave and Ash podcast, the cigar podcast that I listen to.
What's going on?
What?
Oh,
what's going on? Whoa, y'all weren't ready for this sexiness. I know, I get it, I understand. Man, y'all need to get me off this big screen, man. Hold on.
Hold
on.
Oh, there we go.
Yes, there we go. There we go. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Sip and Smoke with the Leaf and Ash podcast crew. I am your boy, Panda Baby. Let's go. As always, ladies and gentlemen, you know I roll with my compadres as always. And we got Bougie being bougie in his recliner because he's still, babying that little, surgery he had on his back. We won't tell you why he had back surgery, but we'll just say it anyway. But anyway, we got another Cigar Don. What up, Donnie boy?
What's happening? What's happening, guys? Happy Thursday.
What are you sipping on? What are you smoking?
So I am smoking the coveted Bonded by the Leaf Smokers Inferno.
Yes, sir.
Unveiled by none other than the Panda last week. And I'm sipping on a little Elijah Craig rye.
Nice. As you guys know, that's the new release of the Bonded by the Leaf. That is the second addition to the family. The first was the Smoker's Ember. And stay tuned in regards to how you guys can get your hands on that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the one finger pecker sensation, as always, the one and only JJ Cigar. What up, doggy?
Oh, I'm trying to stay dry. But
what are you smoking? What are you sipping on, doggy?
A LFD double Lajero and some
spicy
double oat.
Ooh,
nice.
Woodford double oak.
Nice. And ladies and gentlemen, we got our own personal Waldo in the house. What up, PC, aka Silverback, baby?
Yo, what's up, baby?
What are you smoking on? What are you sipping on?
Man, I got this new My Father. I may need some help with this. The La Latia?
I can't see it. It's got a little fire. Yeah, but it's a good. I've had it. It's a good smoke. What you pairing it up with?
Well, I'm gonna hydrate. I'm gonna see if I can turn this into something. I tried to turn it into wine last week. It might just turn it into Dr. Pepper this afternoon.
Well, guys, I am smoking none other than the Blood of Life.
Oh, that's a good one. That is.
I don't know who makes this cigar. Some chooch. I don't know what's his name. Oh, that's right, Ish Olivan from Bad Cigar. This is a banger, ladies and gentlemen. These guys on the comments, they know all about this Pennsylvania broadleaf wrapper. Dude, it's a banger of a smoke. And guys, I'm back to my Dalmore 12 years. I cannot get enough of this drink. It's absolutely delicious. Absolutely great pairing. Well, that guy Banff Cigars, once in a way he could get one. Hey, I know a guy.
You know a guy?
I know a guy. All right, guys. Yeah, Pedro, it's definitely one of my favorites too. And this bundle has been marinating in my cabinet for a year. I bought these last year during Ish's grand opening and stuff like that.
Oh man!
Hey, Chris. Hey guys, there's the sis saying hello to everyone.
Hey, Crystal.
What's going on, Crystal?
Stop putting lurch on. When I was saying that joke about your back, this is what Hologram had to say to you. Stop putting lurch on your back, Don.
Oh, damn.
Damn.
Oh man. And I'm assuming Brent, you're referring to when we first started. I don't know how that happened, but it is what it is.
Don't worry, Brent. It scared us too.
Yeah, my monitor actually lost a few pixels.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Mm, mm. Well, guys, we were talking all week in regards to like what are we going to talk about this week, right? And I know there was a couple of suggestions, and one was how did we get where we at today? Not necessarily as a group, but basically as individuals and how we ended up as a group. Let me see here before we go on. Thank you. Pass me the info when you can. I got you. So that is a long time. All the legacy panda sent some of this way. I got you, Pedro. I got you, buddy.
Hey, shout out Carmen.
All right, guys. Now, so before we start, Donnie boy, I'm gonna put you on the big screen. We had that hashtag 2 and 2. Show them,
Yep.
explain what's going on, buddy.
So tonight for our giveaway, we're going to give away a 4-pack. So 2 and 2 is going to be the hashtag. It's going to be 2 of the Smoker's Ember and 2 of the Smoker's Inferno.
There you go.
So, and I might be able to be talked into a second one if we get enough hashtags, but we'll pass that bridge when we get there. You know?
The way I see it, I said we set the bar now. What we say, at least 50?
I'm good with that. Yeah, 50.
50 is good.
If we get 50 hashtag entries, I will do a second one.
All right.
Nice.
Of course you could play. Of course. All right. So who wants to start this journey in regards to how we started, me being the panda, the Don, the mutt, and then of course the silverback. Who wants to start this convo?
I'll get it rolling. I don't mind.
Go for it.
So it was a long summer's eve. Train bouncing. No, it's good. That's a different. No, so for me, my journey started probably 15 years ago or so. I was at a crawfish festival that my wife was producing, and we were standing around at the end of the evening. Band was playing. All the kind of the work was done, type thing. We're kind of waiting for the festival to be over because we were part of the cleanup crew. And my cousin came up, and he was a cigar smoker, and a buddy of his was there as well. And they pulled out a cigar, and I was just kind of standing there, and I'd never smoked, to that point, I had never smoked anything, not a cigarette, nothing. And my cousin looked at me and said, "You want one?" And I was like, everything in my body just said, no, 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 no. Yeah, I want to be one of the guys. Let me try one. And so he hands me the cigar, and we sit and we light it up, and we're burning it. And it was, it was an interesting experience for me because I'd never smoked anything. And so I was trying to look cool with the cigar and all that kind of stuff, and holding it with the ash pointing down, just to, being Mr. Cool. And so we finished these cigars, and my cousin asked me, he's like, how do you like that cigar compared? I was like, no, it's the first one I ever had. And he said, oh, well, congrats, you just smoked your first cigar. And I just kind of went, oh man, I cheated, dude. I didn't inhale anything. I just like, and he goes, oh crap, I forgot to tell you, man, don't inhale. So I obviously did it right. So I enjoyed the experience. And and this is kind of goes full circle to where we are now. What I enjoyed the most was just hanging with the guys, and smoking a cigar and hang. And it wasn't necessarily the cigar. It was a Leaf by Oscar, Connecticut. I remember what it was, but which is a good cigar, but it wasn't the cigar that got me. It was more of the, hey, I'm one of the dudes now. I'm one of the guys, and so fast forward, I told my wife, I was like, hey man, I really enjoyed that. I think I'm gonna buy some. And so my cousin was a member well, he was a member of the lounge that I go to now. It was under a different ownership at the time. So he invited me out, and we went out there, and I bought some cigars, and I smoked the same cigar for probably 6 or 7 years. Never branched out, never did anything, but every time I'd go to, a wedding, or, we went out to the Riverwalk in San Antonio or whatever, I'd always bring cigars, and I enjoyed 2 or 3 a month, maybe, just kind of thing. And I I had gotten into starting to try some bourbons and giving my thoughts on bourbons, and then I ended up having weight loss surgery in 2023. And during that time, once you have that surgery, you can't drink alcohol for a year.
Mm.
And so I was like, well, that kind of sucks, I mean, I wasn't like drinking every night or anything, but it was like, I was kind of getting into it, and my wife actually said to me, well, why don't you try some different kinds of cigars and see what you like there? And I was like, all right. So hence was born the TikTok channel of cigar reviews from a novice perspective. I don't know if you guys remember when I did that. That's how I first started out. I just started doing cigar reviews from a novice perspective. And I would go from I'd go up to the actually Clint Memento Cigars worked at the lounge that was close to my house, and he would give me some suggestions, and I'd go back and I'd review them, and it was through that I met some other people. I met Randy from the Cigar Dudes. I met him. He was kind of starting his journey at the same time, and so we started doing some lives together, just getting on hey, there's Memento, just getting on TikTok live and chopping it up. And he had some of the officers that worked for him hanging out, and then one day this dude showed up on our TikTok live, and he had this big hat that said Panda on it. Like, what the hell is this guy? And so then you guys showed up on the scene, and we did our TikTok thing for a while, and TikTok started getting crazy. So we ended up branching off, and we formed this thing, and I'll tell you what, man, the last guys, we're coming up on 2 years. Can you guys believe that? 2 years of doing this podcast next month.
Next month.
So we in doing this for 2 years, I've tried so many different cigars, and I know there's so many more out there to try, but I've tried so many different cigars. Actually, with my boys here, we launched our own cigar. Never thought I would be at this spot, man. Just I was just doing my cigar reviews from a novice perspective, and I'd just be like, I don't know, man. This one tastes kind of spicy. I went back and watched some of those when I was thinking about all this. I went back and watched some of those, and they were pretty bad. They were pretty awful. But it's I was just having fun doing it. I didn't have. I mean, I built my man cave with all this stuff. Just have some place to sit in when it's 247 degrees here in the summer. I used to just sit out at a table out in my yard and do these videos, and so I built a man cave, and I'm still a novice. Don't give me too much credit there, Clint. But it's gotten better now. I've tried so much stuff. I love the brotherhood that we've gotten together 4 or 5 times now in person, and hung out for close to a week each time, and we've had great times, and this has been so special to me to do this, and I look forward to Thursday nights. I look forward to being on Discord with everybody, and it's just become Panda says it all the time. It's no longer a hobby. It's a lifestyle. I plan my day around when I can get a cigar in, type thing. So that's kind of crazy, to think about. I used to plan my cigar around what I was doing that day, and now it's kind of the opposite. So it's been a fantastic journey for me. I just had surgery on my back, as Panda said it earlier, and it's been challenging because I haven't been able to come out here as much. I've been, for the first week or 2 weeks, I was pretty much dormant, laying in a recliner in my house, and then I've been venturing out more and more every day, and so this week I've been able to get on a little more, and I've been really getting back into it, and I'm really happy doing that. So that's kind of my journey in a nutshell. This forming this Leaf and Ash podcast and the Bonded by the Leaf Cigar Company has been the highlight for me. And yeah, I'm just.
I got one question for you, bro.
What's that?
When did Bougie Don turn into Gangster Don?
Okay, so
the cigar Don.
I'll get into that a little bit. So
PC.
So I gotta say, when we were on doing TikTok live, everybody had a screen name. Everybody had a, and I was just on there as Don. So I was like, I need so I started playing around, and then somebody, I can't remember if it was Panda or Kirk or somebody said, play into the Cigar Don, the whole Mafia thing. So I did a whole logo of a gangster skeleton with, the Mafia, and came to Cigar Don. And then, Panda himself, gave me the Bougie Don thing just because of the Davidoff, affiliate or not affinity that I have. I like the Davidoff Nicaragua.
It's Tuesday. Yeah, I know.
It's the only one. It's the only one I smoke, but I got that name, so whatever. So I played into that. I did a couple of videos. I need to get back into doing those a little more. The just the Bougie Don thing, and so I put on a suit and tie and did my best Memento cigar impression and try did some videos. I need to do a couple more of those. Those were fun. And then we started playing poker, and I started whooping everybody's rear end in poker. So then I became the Gangster Don. So
thank you, gangster. So here's a question for you. So now that you have, we've all had, I think in the last year and a half, I think we've gone from doing legacy cigars, right? And we've had a bunch of legacy brand owners come on to our podcast.
Yeah.
And I think we've kind of tilted now towards the boutique. And I think I speak for all of us. And then when I say that, I think we have learned to appreciate boutique a little bit more because we know on the back end what it takes to kind of push that brand, you know what I mean? And to afford somebody that opportunity,
Right.
But now that you've been in the game for a little bit, what's like your best pairing? Like what exactly is that you'd like to pair your cigars with most?
So most of the time, I when I'm smoking, I just drink a Powerade Zero just because that's what I drink. That's my drink. But if you're looking at like talking about like alcohol and stuff, I enjoy a nice port wine with my cigar. Gives a little bit of that sweetness, in your mouth and that kind of stuff. And I'll tell you what, this one right here might be my new favorite. This Elijah Craig rye. It's
so smooth.
It's so smooth. Yeah, it doesn't give you that. It doesn't give you that throat burn. Even like the Inferno is a little bit of a heavier cigar for me, and it just doesn't give me that throat burn.
It's inexpensive. It's not even a very expensive bottle.
No.
That's what it is. Yeah, it's absolutely.
Yeah.
Tom, this is Tom's answer, and of course, Jay.
Oh Lord.
Hold on.
What was
the biggest game changer for you in your cigar journey? Clint, boy, let me tell you, I should have brought you on because that was actually one of my questions I had to ask the guys. But go ahead, go for it. I love it.
So one of the biggest game changers for me, and I'm not just saying this because you're here, Clint, was I was scrolling through TikTok one day, and I followed Memento Cigars channel, and I thought here's this dapper looking young man doing these cigar videos and everything, and in one of his videos he said something about Webster, Texas, and I went, Webster, Texas, well that's where I live, And so I messaged him. I'm like, "Are you?" Come to find out, he was right down the road, and so I had access to someone who really knew the cigar game, that could give me pointers and give me here, try the cigar. And like, I never knew that a cigar tastes different in a different Vitola. I never knew that. It never dawned on me. But he'd be like, "Here, try this one on this Vitola for this one." And then I would say the second biggest game changer was when we decided to do this. I knew I had to, everybody always uses the phrase step up my game, but I had to step up my game a little bit and to get on here and not just look like a complete idiot, I still do, but
what? It's funny that you bring Clint because what? I really truly have a profound respect for Clint. I remember him popping up on my TikTok for the first time, and I'm like, "Who the heck is this guy?" I started watching a few of his clips, and I was like, "This kid knows what the hell he's talking about." He's not a kid; he's a young man, but and you're right. He's always dressed up dapper. His $1 million smile and everything as always. And you know what? I'm gonna give him a shout out anyway. If you're not following Memento Cigars on Instagram, YouTube, by all means, and Facebook. I don't know if he's on Facebook or not, but absolutely follow that guy. He finally hit 11,000 subscribers on YouTube. Let's get him to 20,000.
Yes,
You know,
sir.
you know. But PC, what about you, buddy? How did all this come about with you?
Well, you know, we all know I travel with, you know, my former career, man. I used to travel to Southeast, and I stayed in touch with one of my college roommates, and we also played college football together. And I just happened to be working in his town in Alabama, and it was a Sunday. I never forget it. And I was like, "Yo, man, what are you up to?" And he was like, "Man, I'm just sitting up here at the lounge, man." I say, "The lounge?" You know, because knowing Big George, George wasn't really a lounge guy in my mind because we used to hang out tight. And he said when you get off from work, man, just come on by the lounge and holler at me. I'm having a cigar. I'm like, a cigar. I'm all animated with it, and so I get off from work. I have a little time, and I stopped through, and he was like, "You smoking a cigar?" I was like, "Man, I don't know what to pick." So he introduced me to the tobacconist. She knew her stuff. She greeted me. She asked me what did I like, what kind of foods did I like. She did the whole 9 yards. And I told her, I said, I want something. I don't want it to be strong, but I don't want to get sick, but I want something with some flavor. If you can make it a little sweet, that'll be perfect for me. Not knowing. So she took me in, gave me a Kubota acid, which was perfect. It had the sweet tip on it. I lit it up. So my buddy was drinking a little beer. We paired it up with Presidente beer. I'm like, oh man, this cool, this cool. I'm drinking, smoking. I'm doing everything right. And I was like, well, dog, well, we watched the Eagles get their butt kicked that weekend. I don't want to say that.
Oh, you had to. All
but
right.
but anyway, but anyway, by the time I got ready to go home, I left with a few cigars. I put them in a wooden box, and I was all excited. I got home, man. Got the wife up. Hey, look here, I'm smoking cigars. Da da da. I'm all excited. She was like, I was like, yeah, this is my new thing. That one night, that one cigar changed my whole life. And she was like, well, I'm going to bed. I was like, man, I wish I could fire one up. So she goes to sleep and she has a CPAP on. So I fire up a cigar and the smoke goes upstairs. She's coughing. She's coughing. You trying to kill me? You trying to kill me? I said, no, I'm just trying to enjoy the cigar. That was really an experience. I was excited, man. I really was about. I found something that I could do simply, because I worked on the island by myself. I worked out of my car as an investigator, and I really never really talked to people. So, and I was looking for something, but I just didn't know I was looking for something. But when he introduced me to cigars, that was the thing that light the the fuse to where we are now. So fast forward, I started. I had no one to walk me through the process because I didn't even know there were that many lounges surrounding me in my community. So I went on YouTube University and looked up a lot of the cigars and the etiquette part of it. It really blew my mind. So I'm all about etiquette because that's what drew me deeper into the cigar industry or into the cigar community, should I say? And I just kept grinding, man. I kept looking. We found lounges, we found stores in our area, and how I would go by picking my cigars, I would pick them by the shade and the color of the wrapper. I knew nothing about legacy. I knew nothing about legacy. So I could pick a good cigar just by looking at the wrapper. And I picked some bangers back then. I went back and looked at a lot of the photos I picked some bangers, man, and I started with the Perdomos. I stayed away from the Connecticut's because I just thought they were a little too light. Just didn't know. Um, I was smoking Camachos. I was smoking some of everything I can get my hand on. Trying to find my palette, find my my notes that I thought was good for me, but I knew I wanted to smoke Maduros. So I just kept grinding, man. So one day I was at work, and like I said, I was on the island, and I posted my first video on TikTok, and I was like, So, and I got a like on it. I was like, I had been on Facebook for years, so I was dealing with people that I knew through high school and throughout life, and I started hearing these things about TikTok. My kids introduced me to TikTok, and I kept going, and I was like, all the funny videos, and I realized that our generation started taking over TikTok. So I said, okay, since I'm into cigars, start looking up cigars. So I looked up cigars and found the cigar community. So that's kind of how we all met. And we just started gravitating to lives and stuff like that. And like you said, the guy right there with the hat on, with the PANDA on there. And so he was on there one night. Don was on there one night, and we were kind of all in the same little circle, and Memento and all of those people, man. And we got together, and and John Ruitt, John was on there at one time, and we just started talking amongst each other and just kept going and kept going. So eventually, like I said, we had a group, and then we went in our own direction, and it just kicked off, man. But I'm gonna leave the story to you to tell about how you and I met and stuff like that. So, but I'm gonna tell you how I got my name. I started off as PC on TikTok, or P Caldwell, and my son came in the house. He said, "What you up to, Silverback?" I said, "No," because that's what he called me. Showing his love for me. So I was like, okay, I think I like that. I'm gonna go with Silverback. So I went with just straight Silverback for a long time, and then eventually I changed it to PC, aka Silverback, and kind of to give it is the touch that I thought it needed. And the rest is pretty much history, man. Pretty much history.
Well,
I found my people.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, more that you don't know. Yeah. So I'm asking the same question that I asked Tom. What do you enjoy pairing your cigars with?
Well, I tell you, right now I'm stuck on tequila. Tequila with club soda and lemonade. It pairs. It's clean. It cleanses your palate, and you don't have to worry about getting that rush that you normally would get from the tobacco.
I can't do tequila, man. I just
But you know my favorite is Uncle Nearest, though.
Uncle Nearest, yeah, I get it, man. It's just something about like this. I've had some really good tequila. It has to be chilled. It has to be cold. If I'm gonna have to it has to be chilled, because it gives me the worst case of heartburn. Like that agave is just brutal, absolutely brutal to me. And the next day, I am not feeling it at all.
No.
Well, we have a Sub-Zero freezer, which is sitting in right now. I bought 3 bottles over the weekend, and bought some puree with pineapple puree. Oh man, you talking about?
What up, Biggie?
It's
says what's
perfect.
up.
It's a perfect drink, man.
Absolutely. Well, Mutt, I'm up to you. You guys can see where I'm going with this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So
You guys want to hit one of our sponsors real quick, or
let's hit one of our sponsors first, and then we'll go hit the second new sponsor that we got coming up, guys.
Yes, sir.
Go for it.
Today's episode is brought to you by the Cigar Vault Oakdale, one of the premier boutique cigar lounges serving the Pittsburgh area. Located in Oakdale, Pennsylvania, the Cigar Vault isn't just a shop, it's a destination. Whether you're a seasoned smoker or just getting into the culture, They've built a space where cigars, conversation, and community come together. Inside, you'll find a carefully curated humidor packed with premium and boutique brands, plus a laid-back lounge atmosphere that makes you want to stay, light up, and connect. Open 7 days a week, they've become a go-to spot for locals and travelers alike looking for a top-tier cigar experience. So if you're anywhere near Oakdale, or just want to support a shop that truly gets cigar culture, check out the Cigar Vault Oakdale. Light one up and tell them Leaf and Ash sent you.
Nice.
Well, there it is.
There it is.
And I'm still Bernie. I'm still waiting for that video of the bolt of the inside of that humidor. But Mutt, tell us your journey, buddy.
My first time I ever smoked a premium handmade cigar, I was in AIT in Virginia, going through aviation school when I was much younger and in much better shape than I am currently right now. And we would like to frequent it when we'd like to frequent the lounge when we'd be able to get off base on the weekends and stuff. But I too, as you know, with PC, I started off with an acid blondie, and I had no idea. He wasn't, man. I ripped on that thing like it was a Marlboro Red. I'm telling you what, my vision it went black. And I learned real quick that that's not how you do it. Off and on through the years, I'd go and buy a few here and there, and black and mild here and there. Just I finally bought a handful of cigars, and so I'm gonna put some pictures on the old TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
And I found out.
I see a theme here. I see a theme.
Yeah.
TikTok box.
Apparently I had the juice and people liked the way I was doing some things, and it got some attention. And I was actually sitting down eating dinner one night, and Panda invited me to a live. I just got on TikTok, wasn't able to go turn my camera on or nothing. And
That's right. I forgot about that.
yeah. And I was like, all right, this is kind of cool. Yeah. And, we tried a couple things here and there and decided we need to start something. And we did. And back on TikTok, I was the Stogie Cave. That was my name.
Mm.
That's right.
I was the Stogie Cave.
Right.
And then I remember you guys kept saying, you need to come up with a name.
Right. Yeah.
And, and I finally came up with a name, and we created the podcast. And since the podcast, we've got to meet many times, go to some events I never would have ever went to otherwise. I've been able to go to PCA 2 times, which is definitely a bucket list item. That's a cool place. It's overwhelming, but it's cool and it's fun. I'm a rep, and I absolutely love that. It's a lot harder than people say it is. Repping is not easy.
Mm-mm.
You get told no for a living. So it's hard, but you have to be persistent and believe in your product and let your products speak for themselves.
Absolutely.
And and here we are now, and I wouldn't change it for anything. It's been I found this at the best time. I needed something at that time bad.
Right.
And and I gained a few brothers out of it all, and I never changed a thing about it.
Absolutely. Now the Mutt King, you finally got the Mutt because of your background.
Yeah.
People don't know about your background, so share a little bit about that.
I am a Cherokee Indian / German. Just a Heinz 57, just an old mutt. Just an old mangy mutt. And that's what I like to call people around here, because it seems we're all, for the most of us, we're Native American, but the largest majority of us in this area is German because of the mining. They all came here to mine, because Northeast Oklahoma was they had a huge lead boom during the 2 world wars, and with zinc and everything. And You know, say we're all somewhat, you know, have a piece of German in us, but we're all of different tribes. And it's just kind of cool. You know, just the intermingling they did.
Yeah. In the middle.
I would
Amen,
say-
Tom.
Yeah. And same question to you. What now, you know, now that you've gone, you really, you know, gone deep dive into this world, and what do you enjoy pairing it with?
Oh, old fashions, baby. That's my number one. Old fashioned, and I don't care.
Why didn't I go there? Yeah.
What bourbon.
Why didn't I go there? Yes.
You took
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Be an Evan Williams Black Label. You know, it don't matter. You know, you any bourbon and any type of old fashioned, I'm good.
Yeah.
Well, and for those of you guys that don't know JJ as well, like there were some times at the beginning of this podcast when we were like, you know what would be cool? It'd be cool if we had Rick Rodriguez or somebody like that on here. And all of us were like, yeah, we'll never get that guy. And JJ's like, hey, Rick's coming on 2 Thursdays from now. You know, there were so many of those. There were so many of those at the very beginning that JJ just like. I think you were born to be a rep because you know with that you know that whole salesman mentality that you get told no more than you get told yes, that you just didn't give a crap, man. You just said I'm gonna. All you even said it to us. All they can say is no. You know,
That's it.
He hammered out at some of the you know the biggest names that we've had, Matt Booth and Rick Rodriguez, and you know I'm missing a ton of them, but
Garofalo, don't forget about that.
Garofalo, good. That was our first big name on there. And when JJ said I just thought, man, this is going to be a joke. We didn't get Dave Garofalo, and then we popped up, and there he was. Like, holy,
You
crap.
know, and we message on a weekly basis. If I have a question, I answer. I ask him, and he's always right there. And he's a salt of the earth person.
Yeah, he is. We got to meet him in St. Augustine, you know, during the event, and the guy is truly down to earth, a plethora of knowledge in the industry, and very, very well respected by the guys in the legacy world. You know, and rightfully so.
We also learned that he keeps his ear to the streets at the same time.
Well, he's also close to the ground too. Just saying.
That picture of you guys at PCA was one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
At one of his locations, he's on the bottom half, his cigar store. He has another cigar lounge directly on top of him. And he's like, I don't sweat it. I'll outwork him. I'll outmarket him and I will outsell him. But he'll also go in there and rearrange your humidor in a way that'll move cigars. Because he wants you to succeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what it is? He's gotten to a point in his career, and you know what I mean, that and I've always said this, that if you're confident within yourself, there's nothing or no one could threaten your confidence.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean? And that and listen, it is definitely a privilege to get to know him and meet him. It really was. Also, he's short like Panda. Listen to this. I'm surprised Angel ain't on this.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
He's been pretty tamed.
Yeah. So, yeah, my journey in cigars started, I hate to use like 30 years ago, you know,
Dang.
a very long time ago. But it started even younger than that. You know, I remember the first time smelling it wasn't the greatest cigar. I was working as a teenager for my cousin's boyfriend at that time's father and him. They used to own a window business. And we used to have to wake up early in the morning to go clean business windows. And the old man always had a cigar in his mouth. It wasn't the greatest smelling cigar, but I always enjoyed the smell and the aromatics of cigars. It was just something about it that I gravitated to. Excuse me. And so that kind of like started piquing my interest. And that I'm saying I'm like maybe 13 years old, something like that. Just saying, fast forward, you know, I graduated out of high school and everyone's passing cigars. This story I've never shared, but a group of us got together. Somebody got us some cigars and we had a house party, smoking cigars and drinking, smoking cigars. And I absolutely fell in love with smoking cigars. But I didn't know nothing about boutiques and stuff like that. I smoked all legacies back then, and obviously I still do. But the legacies back then was still up and coming, right?
Yeah.
Because my very first cigar box press, because I remember hating box press cigars, this was in the early 90s, was the Rocky Patel 1990 vintage cigar. It was actually my very first cigar that I absolutely fell in love with. And that's it. It just kicked off a journey that I'd never turned back.
No.
And as time progressed, obviously, I got hired. I started on the job 22, turning 23, and I just found myself every day smoking at least 1 or 2 cigars after shift, and to me, it was like a therapeutic, digression per se on the way home, a way to decompress. I used to work midnights, we worked 12-hour shifts, and we didn't have take homes that day. So you had to, you drove your own car home, which was perfect for me because I would light a cigar, and by the time I got home, I was done with that cigar. Like I said, back then, I started like 1-2 cigars a day, every day. And honestly, and it's gotten worse as time has progressed.
Or better, depending on your perspective.
Correct. That's true, right? I really started getting really, really involved and wanting to get in depth in learning about the cigar industry when I was among a group of friends of mine, and they started talking about flavor profiles and notes and this and that. To me, all I tasted was tobacco. I'm like, I like it or I don't like it. There was no in between with me, And I'm like, how do you get? And I started being inquisitive. I started asking questions, and there was this one that kind of took me under his wing, and he was like, "I'm not telling you that I've tasted or bitten into leather, but your tongue is dry. That's like leather. Leather is dry. It's gonna give you that. You have other ones that make you salivate, and that's going to be the sweetness. It's going to be the nicotine in there. That is also going to make it. So I just started. I'm like, you know what? I need to start learning. So I started getting books, started reading books. And then obviously the YouTube stuff just exploded, and I just started YouTubing everything when it first came out. And I just really went deep into it. To kind of, I wanted to be educated, or at least be able to hold my own in conversations among the older gentlemen that were in that realm at that time.
Right.
Then this thing called TikTok popped up, right?
Yeah, dude.
And I will watch it all the time. And I'm like, man, you know what? I'm going to post one day. And at that time, I didn't know what to call myself, and if you guys remember, I first called myself Popo Panda. And there's still people that still call me Po, like John. John calls me Po because that's how he knows me. I started, what's going on, guys? Your boy Popo Panda. But what ended up happening with that, I started getting a lot of hate messages because they didn't care for my profession.
I hate that.
Things started getting really dark. Like there was a lot of things that were being said. I was like, whoa. And for the first time, because ever since I started my profession, I stopped social media all completely.
But you got to also add, there was a real dark time in society at that time too. When you came out with that name, there was a lot of stuff going on at that time. So that made you very visible.
Oh, it should. It should. There was some colorful comments. I could tell you that.
Yeah.
Oof,
so I'm
I
like,
can't even imagine.
Yeah, and I'm like, so they're like, where do you get the name Panda? Right? Like, I didn't, and I'll share this story with you guys. I would have never called myself Panda, but over the years, I've embraced it. For over 20 years, I've been called Panda with my coworkers, and the way I got my name Panda was from the streets. I had gotten into a physical altercation with 2 individuals in the street while I was on duty, and I handled myself pretty well. And the streets were like, "Oh, snap, Kung Fu Panda, look at you, blah blah blah," because of my martial arts background and stuff like that. And it stuck. And ever since that, my coworkers called me Panda. And there was a time that we will plain talk on the radio. Hey, Panda, meet me over here. Or Panda, I need your help over here. Or Panda, I need to back up. And we would talk radio until one day our chief got a little pissed off and like, enough with the talk. And we're like, okay, 11 bro, 17 go. We changed it to regular, but we did that for forever, And then I finally made my first post. I was brave enough to make my first, and I looked it up. I had to scroll. My very first post was June 24th of 2021 was my first post. Wow. And it had nothing to do with cigars.
Yep.
My first 3 or 4 videos was me playing freestyle music. From it reminded me of New York. I'm like, hey, wait, where my fellow New Yorkers at? Who remembers this? But that's how I started. And then I'm starting to build and build. My very first cigar post was a month later which was my third post per se. It was like July 1st or 2nd. And I could tell you that ever since that, I was, what's going on, ticket, docket, and I would just start posting after posting. Back then, if you guys remember, you needed 1,000 followers to go live.
Right.
Yep.
When I finally got to 1,000, I even did a clip me dancing or me making 1,000 subscribers and stuff. And then the lives came up, right? Yep. All the lives and stuff like that. I started getting invited here, invited there. And then I started my own live, and then lo and behold, people just started coming. I just started inviting. I was like, if you like smoking cigars, I want you here. Boom, invite you. Boom, and that's how the journey began in regards to this realm. And obviously, yes, Gary the Hawk is when that's right, buddy. Gary the Hawk. That's how long I've been following that man. So to me, TikTok has been the foundation, I believe, for all of us, even those that are here on the comment section.
Yeah,
that's the common denominator. You know what I mean? It was that platform.
Yep.
And obviously, we've kind of strayed away from TikTok because of the obvious reasons, because they're not that friendly to individuals that enjoy what we enjoy doing, which is smoking our cigars,
which is perfectly legal.
Right. Smoke by
I thought about being like, the majority of TikTok. If I got to shake my booty on there to get some views, I'll do it.
Hey, make sure you got them shorts and them skins, boy.
I'm telling you right now.
So yeah, and then, and listen, I'll bring it up. I used to belong to I started on another podcast. PC was on it. And then Don ended up being part of it. That Kurt was on there as well, the Cigar Piper. And then JJ was the last edition. And Randy was on there for a brief moment. Mm-hmm. And then it didn't work out. I mean, plain and simple. It just didn't work out. We had different visions, etc. And we all kind of parted our ways. And with that being said, we started talking. And I was like, okay, guys, if we are going to do this, then we need to set some ground rules, right? And that's the one thing that I think that anybody that's going to start this journey in a group, they need to start off with ground rules.
100%.
And the number one ground rule that we have is that there's nobody head of the table. Right? We all sit around. Everyone's opinion matters. Everyone's voice matters. And we want everybody to be able to voice their opinion. And if someone gets pissed off, it's for us to have that conversation and say, hey, man, I didn't appreciate this. I appreciate it. And we've done that, and I'm grateful for it. I'm glad that we set the ground rules from the very jump, because I think that's what kind of separates us from a lot of people. And maybe, I'm stroking this a little too hard, but I don't care, and we all agree that we're in no rush, Yeah, we would love to get to our 1,000 subscribers, hint, hint. But by all means, as far as my pairing, JJ, you took my mixed drink. I was gonna say is a good old fashioned. I absolutely love a good old fashioned, but if I had one choice, it would have to be a bourbon. You know what I mean? I am truly a bourbon. Oh, well, there's Don Moore's a whiskey, but I mean, This
I
12.
gotta challenge you a minute there, Panda.
I was about to say, go ahead, Don. Hit him.
There's a lot of times, man, you come on here with well, I'm gonna say
Gin and tonic.
gin and tonic. Yeah, that seems to be your kind of go-to.
That's
I mean,
that's what I
it
gotta
may not be your
They-
favorite pairing, but I think that's your the most that you go to. You know.
because
What?
one, it's clean. You know what I mean? I try to stay away from a lot of the sugars. You know,
Well,
so for the most part, I'll drink a gin and tonic. But my go-to, if I have my choice of between a gin and tonic and a
All right,
bourbon,
while we're on, here's a good question for all of us.
what's my? I could tell you mine. I mean, mine is simple. Mine is not even. It's both as a channel and also as individuals. I just want to see each and every one of us grow as a group and individually. And you know what? I'll be the first to say that, and I take my hat off to my little brother up here, because you guys have no idea how much this young man has grown in the last couple of years, in regards to him being more vocal, being
Yeah.
able to express himself, on his own platforms, and the way he's done it. I'm extremely proud of him.
Thank you.
And the reality is that we've always said, family first and foremost, and we stick to that. You know what I mean? As a channel, as a group, I would love for us to be known by a lot of people. That everybody can't wait for Thursdays, for the sip and smoke and see what the hell the Leaf and Nash is going to talk about now. What guests we're going to have next? That's my objective. That's my goal for us. What says you, Don?
So for me, I don't care about ever being, air quotes, famous. That never crossed my mind. I've enjoyed the growth that I've had personally in the cigar world. And look, this is my socialization. I work from home, and so I don't, when I go to the lounge or when I get on here with you guys or when I get on Discord or whatever, that's my socialization. And so gaining not just three brothers, but everybody in the comments, just gaining friends that if you're having a rough day and you can't wait to get on Discord and just smoke a cigar and forget about what the world dealt you that day.
Yeah.
And so for me, look, do I want to get big and be known? Sure, absolutely. That'd be great. Wink, wink. Like and subscribe. But truly, it is just getting on and sharing a part of my life that I don't share with a ton of people, and sharing what this is, this brotherhood that we have, and it's the same feeling I had the first time I smoked a cigar. It was I'm part of one of the guys, I'm part of the group, and that's my hope for the channel, is that we all, whether this Leaf and Ash thing works out, I think it will. I mean, we're going 2 years now, and we're having a great time doing it.
Yes.
But whether it does or not, we're going to be lifelong brothers, and I don't know what else to say other than that's my hope for it, that we just stay connected, bonded by the leaf, if you would.
Ooh.
PC, what says you, PC?
Hey, man, you guys said it all, though, man. But my thing is that we stay lifelong friends, regardless of whether the podcast takes off. I'm you guys' biggest cheerleader in the sense of personal endeavors, and that we stay positive with it, man. One thing I know about the cigar community, man, it has a lot of tentacles that can go positive or negative, but I would love to see us continue to move forward as a unit, and everybody do their individual thing, man, and eventually we will hit that 1,000 mark, or that 1,500, or that 2,000.
Yeah.
I'll say this, looking back on everything when we started, I try not to look too far in the future, but I do plan for the future. I didn't see us making it 2 years because I didn't look that far. and I just wanted to get past that first year. And now I see, unlimited, time of, us doing this over as we continue to grow. And I just hope that we get the people what they want, man, and keep it positive, man, and just know that we all started this thing wanting to help everybody, regardless of what your affiliations are. And I think we're still there. And that's one of the reasons why Bonded by the Leaf got kicked up, because we wanted to use that platform as the way to communicate with the people that's looking for help, that just want to communicate with people. And the help can come in many different forms, but that's kind of what I was looking for.
Yeah.
But what say you, Jay?
Well, before you go, JJ, I want to, like, we're coming up on our second birthday. I promise you guys, I won't put the happy birthday behind me this time. so on our first anniversary show, I put a big sign draped behind me that said "Happy Birthday," and most of the guys thought it was my birthday. They were all wishing me happy birthday. I'm like, no, it's not my birthday, guys. It's our birthday. So.
I think as long as we've used the word growth a few times, and the channel it could stay exactly where it is right now, but as long as the loyals are here and the comments are like this, it's active, we're all having fun. We try to keep it educational / there's always going to be shenanigans, because that's just what we do. You got to have fun while you're doing it. I think as long as we're all four still having fun, the people in the comments, I don't care if it's 2 people, they're having fun. That's all I want.
Yep.
If it turns into something bigger, then let's go for the ride. If it stays the way it is, I'm perfectly happy with this.
Yep.
Absolutely. And guys, and with that being said, we want to give a shout out to our new sponsor. We were talking about pairings and stuff like that, and this has become our new sponsor effective today, guys. So we want to welcome our new sponsor. JJ, hit that beautiful bean footage. There it is, guys. There it is.
King Pepper,
baby. The King Pepper himself.
Let the chips fall where they may.
Yes,
Hey, boy, look at that sexy dapper dude. Come on now. That King Pepper is no joke right there. Look at he looks sexy. Look at him, boy. He look Dr. Pepper established 1885. Yeah, like that. I am out.
We just lost a subscriber.
Come on now. Tell me he doesn't look sexy. Once again, we just said it. Our shenanigans.
You're sexy, and you know it.
and guys, listen, man. I can tell you, it was so fun. We talked about that the other day, and we're like, you know what? We gotta listen. There's no one safe. There's no one safe. No one.
If you happen to be displayed on the show in that manner, just know it comes from our heart. It's just fun.
How is it that I go, guys?
Yeah, dude.
I was just about to say that. We all know Ish hates Dr. Pepper and the whole thing, so that's why we did it. But it's funny, but it just goes to show you that we love all you guys, and Ish has been a big part of our journey. We don't mind sharing that he makes our cigars. He makes a lot of cigars for the people that have them, that are in the chat, and it's been interesting for me to know a blender and to watch him work and see. I think our third cigar just got sabotaged.
Yep, it just got bamboozled, man. Oh my Lord. Oh man. How many hashtags we up to, JJ?
Right now we're up to 24. It's actually been pretty active.
All right, well, guys, you got maybe another 2 to 3 more minutes while we finish up here. Guys, listen, man. We obviously we can't do this without you guys.
No.
And the reality is always the same people that keep on showing us love, and we greatly appreciate it. And you know what? We love each and every one of you.
Yes.
And listen, I still have. And you know what? Now that Carmen knows it, listen, I showed this before, man. But this is what Carmen and Luis gave me from his and hers. You know, look at that, man. Hold on, let me.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I appreciate that. There you go. Look at this. You know, and you can't forget. You know,
It's almost as big as your head.
no, yeah. And then of course, I mean, look how beautiful that is.
That is very
Nice.
nice.
You know?
Nice.
And you know, I absolutely love those two individuals, man. You talking about people that know how to run a lounge? I could tell you right now, guys. If you've never been to his and hers in Cocoa, Florida, you absolutely need to make time and go out there. And you will not see two owners, lounges work as hard as them. I can tell you. I mean, they're never not running around. You know, Saturday was ridiculous, and they were still jumping all over around.
I shared it the other day. I can't remember if it was when we were live on Memorial Day or if it was on Discord. I can't. But I shared. We had the privilege of broadcasting when Carmen and Luis got their distinguished, you know, female friendly cigar, Sisters of the Leaf female friendly cigar lounge, and I was watching, you know, because we did a few minutes before they got the award, so we were talking, but I was watching Carmen, and she's about to get an award, and she was just working the room, and I was like, you know, I don't know. I'll be honest with me, I'd have been sitting there like, yeah, I'm the one getting honored today. I'm gonna sit here and enjoy this. But she wasn't, you know, and that it's just a tribute to how they run their lounge, and I hope to get there someday, you know, when I'm down that way.
Absolutely. Listen, it took Luis almost 5 hours to smoke that Cerilla, the Issues new cigar. Almost 5 hours, because he had to put it down more times because he's running all over the place just to freaking attend to his customers. It was a great event.
It's hard work. It's hard work. It's hard work running a lounge.
Yes,
Mhm.
the hospitality is always number one, and you can definitely tell, and it's clear at his and hers that is their number one priority.
Absolutely. All right. Well,
Where we at, JJ?
We are at 25.
Well, get us at least 30, and we'll still throw that other pack in there, the twofer. Yeah, so it's 25. We need 5 more entries, guys. Come on.
But
I'm gonna help everybody out here.
And listen, guys, and also listen, if you guys won in the last, last 30 days, you know what I mean? We're gonna roll 3 times. The third person that ends up going is going to be the winner, just so to give you guys a heads up.
But
Yeah.
I'll say this too, man. It became real when I met a few people from TikTok, and then it really became real when you and I met for the very first time.
Well, they used to be called Island Girls, right?
Yeah.
So it just so happens. So our niece lives in Jacksonville, and PC's daughter so happens to live in Jacksonville, and it just so happened that he was coming down at the same time. And I was like, well, why don't you meet us at this lounge? At that time, like I said, it's called Cubano Johnny now, I think it's called.
Right.
I believe that's where AT Fields has his cigars at. But anyways, so the first time I met PC, Don, my impression of PC was exactly like yours. I'm thinking PC going to come out, this big old boy, 6'2", maybe 280, 300, big boy. I'm like, this boy my height, man. You look stocky to me, but I'm like, dude. It was the most funny, yeah.
That was the first words out of my mouth in Tampa were, I thought you were bigger.
Yeah.
So I have to ask why we're trying to get these few more. We're at 26 people. We need 4 more.
Let's go.
Was my head as big in person? Is it as big in person as it is on screen? Okay.
Juggernaut.
No, because I'm just one of them old cornbread fed boys.
No, it fits your body, man.
Yeah, it does. It does. You all head and shoulders, buddy.
Yeah.
But listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, guys. I still have. I gotta find the recording, but the first time JJ went to Tampa and he went to Cigar International and walked in, his face was at complete awe. He's just like mesmerized with like the humidor itself and all the cigars, and it was something to see. It really was,
I remember the first thing he said. He goes, "Man, you could fit the entire lounge and parking lot of the lounge I go to in this humidor.
Yeah, dude. Easily. 27.
Yeah, he
Three
did,
more, guys.
he did a double take. He had to step out and step back in.
3 more. We need 3 more.
Ah.
Listen, all I'm saying is, as long as you're not being basic, you're doing good. That's all
Oh,
I need is.
there's a memory right here. Here's a memory.
2 more.
I forgot when I saw Panda first. Meeting Memento. You know what? And you know what's frustrating? He's just as good looking in person and as thin as a rail in person as he is on television. And that smile is brighter in person than it is through that camera lens. I tell you this. Come on, guys, 40 inches, and I will buy 500 pounds.
We need 2. Come on, people. We need 2.
Dude, that is hilarious, dude. Oh man, where's Ish's impersonation of me? Where's Ish's
Yeah,
impersonation?
where's that at? It's gonna be right here.
Oh, let's go.
Love you guys.
He may or may have not had 1 or 2 drinks, and
You know,
it's probably
1 or 2.
3:30 in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning at a hotel parking lot.
You know, and Panda, I wonder how many drinks you had to have for this.
Woo. 0. Don't take much for the Panda. You have fun, buddy.
I'm
Yes,
not
sir.
going to sleep tonight.
Hey, but Don, show that bottle you just showed. That
I need 1 more.
This one.
Ah.
if you want to see Panda dance, that's what you need to get him. Because you used to light TikTok up
No.
with that.
Now, if you want to see Panda dance, you got to get him the Weller Special Reserve.
Wow, Ed Brutus. Listen, I love that bottle. That special, that green label is absolutely delicious. And I think honestly, I was roofied that night, guys. I'm just saying, I don't know what happened was. All I know, nothing hurt the next day, so other than my head.
No, I think everything hurt the next day.
Just my head.
And he had to get on a plane.
Yes, and I had to go get it. It was rough. Pedro gets takes credit for yes, you do. Yeah, I believe it. Hey, I have never seen Panda. First of all, the Panda don't get drunk. The Panda gets very impaired.
You guys want to unlock the fullness of this giveaway? You need 1 more entry.
Oh, let's go, people. Let's go.
Come on, somebody's got to have a side account somewhere they can give us another hashtag. Come on.
Side account, different address, same person wins. Get it 2 weeks in a row. Who knows?
Yeah, right. Exactly. Big Al, what's going on, Big Al? Hey, man, Big Al, man, this guy, man, he does some phenomenal freaking 3D artwork, man. I'll show
Yes.
you guys again. You know, this is one. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. Look at that.
Nice.
Look
Oh,
at that.
I never put 2 and 2 together that was Big Al. Oh my gosh.
I'm telling you, man.
Oh my God. Here's a welcome site.
Oh, Chris.
What's happening, my brother?
What's going on? We miss you too, big dog.
Yes.
Hey, so you know what? This is perfect timing, guys. Don't forget about the TPA Smoke Fest, October 1st through the 3rd. Guys, it is going to be a banger. There it is right there, guys. I promise you, you're not going to find a better value, than what we're offering. Something was brought to our attention earlier today. I won't talk about it now because it kind of pissed the Panda off when I saw it. But I'm telling you, you're not going to get what you pay for 2 days in event, especially for the VIP.
No.
Once again, for the VIP guys, you're getting 10 cigars, you're getting 10 tickets, drink tickets, 5 for Friday, 5 for Saturday. You're getting 5 raffle tickets. You're getting the rolling experience with Ish Olavan on that Friday. And afterwards, we're going to be doing, we have a lounge that we're going to be going to that's going to be specifically for us. Saturday, an hour early, also of entry, both on Friday and Saturday. And then you're gonna have the pairing class on Saturday with Ish as well. And also at the end, you're gonna have a dinner, afterwards. And Thursday, let me go start from the beginning. Thursday is a pre-event. It's like a greet and meet all the guys and girls from brand owners, etc. So you can meet us at a brewery. But yeah, we're gonna have live music. We're gonna not live music. We have DJs out there. We're gonna have giveaways. We're gonna have contests.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be a great time, guys. Share it. You've seen it on our posts. I've been posting it like crazy. Grab it, snatch it, share it. And yeah, we'd love to see each and every
Come
one.
join us.
And come and join us. And we'll be doing live. We're gonna be doing live interviews with every brand owner and accessory owners, just the same, so everyone can have their share. We'll probably do half on Friday, the other half on Saturday. So we could spread the love.
Well, and that's what I was just thinking, man. Most definitely, if you like accessories, man, go check out thegodfather.com and you will get some of the best accessories. I've got a lighter, man, that, that thing is like Old Faithful. It's going to fire up every single time.
I have used this since the day he sent this to us, and it has been.
There it is. Look at that bad boy.
Still razor sharp.
Yes, sir.
It's there when you need it each and every time.
Oh man, I literally just put the humidor back on top of my other humidor.
Yeah.
Travel, and I take that everywhere I go. Matter of fact, when I was out on his and hers, that's what I brought with me. My travel case, and you could easily stack 20 plus cigars in that bad boy all day, because when you close the lid, it's deep, so you can stack your cigars. It's absolutely gorgeous.
And the cedar smell out of that thing is ridiculous.
My gosh, yes.
All right.
So how are we doing this? First winner, third winner, or how are we doing this?
Third. All right,
Third
I'm
winner.
gonna get her popping. Hey, I could see
Third winner.
how you keep selling out of that thing. I think it's a bad mamma jamma.
Here we go, guys.
Third draw is the winner.
Josephus, sorry, buddy.
Oh,
Bernie, my brother, sorry, man.
All right,
This
winner.
is the first one here. Hologram. That boy Gabe. This dude has been on a roll. I rolled 3 more times.
3 more or just the next one?
No, we'll do 3 more.
3 more. All right.
Hang on. Brad,
Oh man, that's Brent's misses. All right, guys, this is the winner here. One more. There you go.
Drum roll. Drum roll.
Oh man! Oh, look at that!
Comes back with the win.
Back to back. Amanda, you here? We didn't even check to see if a hologram was here. What the heck is going on, gentlemen? Amanda, you here?
Gabe's here. He posted at right when he won.
Amanda, where you at? Amanda. Yeah, you're in line. If you're here, let's go. Oh, there she is. She's here.
okay.
There you
TikTok, TikTok,
All right.
TikTok.
go. Woo, that was close. That was close.
Hit one of us up with your. I got Gabe's address and everything. But Amanda, hit one of us up with your.
I got her.
You got.
info.
All right, send it to me and I'll get those out.
I got that. I got her info. Well, guys, as always, we absolutely love chopping it up with you guys. And listen, from time to time, if you guys want to come on the podcast on one of these Sip and Smokes, by all means, message us.
Get on in.
We will be doing next month mental health. We will be doing a mental health episode, guys.
Mm.
Because obviously we know the severity and how serious that is, for men and women.
Mhm.
So we have a couple of people that we are going to be, speaking with. And by all means, we kind of hope that you guys come and join. We'll be posting that probably in the next. It'll probably. I'm going to try. I'm not saying it's so. It's in stone yet, but probably the Thursday before my surgery, which it will be June 18th. Down at
Oh,
Pepper
man. Ouch.
Street tonight. Yeah, I know it. So maybe June 18th, if we all could team up, we'll figure that out. We got a couple of people like Mason. We talked about Ali from Brothers. I know Gary said he'll jump on as well, and we'll get that going because you know what, no surgery can fix that.
Dang, man.
It's all good. It's all good. But guys, like I said, make sure you share. We'll see what we got popping off next week, and we want to give another special thanks to King Pepper for sponsoring this episode. We really appreciate you. As always, guys, we love you. Ready that? Catch you on the next one. Peace.